Good morning, everybody. I'm Ed Parcaut here with Mike Kelly. We're Real Estate Jerky Daily. That's right. And what
is today? Tuesday?
It is Tuesday. It seems like it's already a Friday.
I was thinking this morning when I got up, oh, thank God it's Thursday. And then I realized, oh, I'm up an hour later than I normally am on Thursday, so probably isn't.
Well, God, hope not.
Yeah, because then I'd be
you would
late.
never live that down.
Hey, Prez didn't even show up for your own meeting.
That's right.
Damn kids.
Who was the only president who didn't show up for their own meeting?
Mike Kelly.
That's what I worried about, and that's exactly what Marianne Sanders said. The same thing. She's like, the one I could not be, missing a meeting because we never live it down.
Exactly. I wonder if Jeff is going to be there this week.
Well, he is. He said he was going.
Yeah. He said, I hit snooze one too many times.
That's what he said. All right. What do we got? I only have a little bit. So how was your trip up to Tuolumne yesterday?
Went smoothly.
Did you get an offer?
I knew. No. I got to follow up with those kids today. See who their lender is, if they have a lender. They're coming from Monterey. I thought they were coming from LA. They're coming from Monterey.
That's a difference.
It is a difference.
Nothing burned there.
There's another couple that I think, Betsy Hurst showed people from Carmel.
Oh, really?
Sunday, which is kind of funny. And then these kids are renting. He's entering the CHP Academy, and they want to purchase before he enters that. He's a manager and co-owner of a restaurant in Monterey.
I would say wait till you become the police, whatever you just said. What was he doing?
CHP.
Yeah, and the reason is because the fact that the question is going to be, how's his income with the restaurant business as a manager? Does he make good money? Does he make okay money? How much tips do we have to look into? It just, with that other one, he's probably going to make like 3 times amount of income.
Or 4.
Gosh, yeah. So
a lot more.
Just get a, once he's got to pass the academy though and get on the other side before he's an actual officer, right?
Well, he's from Monterey. She's from Tuolumne. They have 2 children. Cute family.
Where are they moving? I mean, where is he going to get? The CHP could be all over, right?
Yeah, it could be all over the place.
Because they could go, oh, you got LA for a couple of years, buddy.
Yeah. Well, he's young. He's like, I'll commute.
That's not commuting. That's living down there.
Yeah, I know.
Not everybody gets to Northern California. All right.
Very, very true.
All right. Well, I had a really good day. I was talking to one of my clients about a totally different client. You ever had those days? It's like, hey, did you get my stuff? Yeah, I did. What about my taxes? Oh, yeah. I was like, okay, wrong. Too many people on a Monday. And too many deals all of a sudden. Not, you know what I mean?
But they're approved already, right?
Well, it's I had what I haven't had in a long time, a cash out manufactured loan.
Oh,
a cash out on a manufactured home,
right? On
a permanent foundation. And then you have to be like, oh, what's the LTV? Oh, 65% is all you can do on that, with a conventional.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
so they were going, well, again, I did their loan back in, 22 or 20, something like that, did a refinance for them, which is not a big deal. Rate and term is no big deal.
Yeah.
But when you start to go cash out or do other thing, they're like, why is it such a big deal? And it's like, well, unfortunately, manufactured is the redheaded stepchild. And I apologize for saying that to everybody if you have a stepchild that has red hair.
Yeah.
But basically it's unique to where people, if something happens, it's going to be a harder asset to get rid of. That's how they look at it. It's like a condo. Condos are okay, but not everybody wants them. The pricing between a condo and a PUD or single family is set. There's a 75 basis points hit for that rate.
Wow.
And that's why I was asking about condos at Del Rio, because that big thing. And then come to find out they own the land and they pay taxes on the land. So, and that means it's a PUD,
it is
not a condo. So the question is, in 79, who was the person who would go, look, mate, name these condominiums. So you have a condominium HOA.
I think that was a price development in 79. In fact, it could have been he paper lotted it out. So meaning the lots were there, the plans were there, and then he sold the subdivision. And I can't remember who built it, but I remember being called. Price gave us a call to come in and give it a bid to paint a many moons ago.
Did you get the bid?
No, he sold the subdivision.
Oh, gotcha.
So we didn't work with that. Whoever built it, I want to say maybe Bright, but I could be wrong.
Well, I'm just saying because the name skews everything. So even when I submitted it, it's to underwriting. They're like, "Oh, we have different information than what you do," because they haven't looked at the prelim.
Yeah.
But everything out there says condominium,
right.
and
Right.
you would
Well,
think
it
it's
has
a condominium.
It has a nicer, more wealthy sound, condominium, than saying Del Cielo planned unit development. It sounds low rent.
No, it doesn't. PUD is way better than a condo.
Well, it's way
Condo
better.
usually-
Way easier to get financing on.
Condo usually means upstairs, downstairs apartment complexes.
Converted, yeah.
These are
In Modesto.
would be like a townhouse or a PUD.
Yeah.
So pretty much, because I talked to Jeff and I'm like, hey, remember how so-and-so said at that event that these aren't, because I'm reading everywhere condo, because even in the CCNRs and everything, it says condo or residential unit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What?
Yeah.
People don't understand.
So I know this is something else we're talking about, but don't worry, we can't hear you. You just don't want to look at him.
I don't want to look at it. He does such a crappy job.
Yeah, well, what are you
A
gonna
landscaper next door. Ugh.
Yeah, well, what are you going to do? You can't get high. We finally had our come out in the bid for everything, so it looks like it'll be done the next month. Our neighbors will be so happy.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep.
You guys will be happy too.
Yeah, that's whatever.
That's
I
whatever.
barely see it.
Yeah.
I only see it occasionally. I go through the driveway anyway. All right, let's move on to some actual. So anyway, that's what I was dealing with yesterday, and then a couple of different things. Well, manufactured homes, remember, cash out max 65%. Unless you go FHA, I think you can go much higher on that. But I don't want to go FHA if we don't need to.
Exactly.
Because then you have that mortgage insurance.
Yeah. Premium.
Yeah. And then I had somebody reach out for a VA cash out, which I'm like, VA cash out at this time? What's going on here?
Huh.
It's all of a sudden just got busy.
Wow.
All right. Let's talk about the market.
Let's do it.
Dow is down 450 basis points or 450 points. It's all about the tariffs, and more tariffs. The bond market, what are we doing? We're down 9 basis points, which is no big deal. 10 years sitting at 4.25, not as great as we wanted it, but what are you going to do? I'm not going to complain. It will work. People are just understanding that it's going to take longer. I had somebody reach out to me. What do you think about rates? Everybody's having a different idea. They're going to eventually go down. That's my idea on rates. What's your idea on rates?
I think they'll eventually go down. That's my feeling. And earlier in the week or last week, the end of last week, weren't they digressing just a little bit?
We were at 1918, 418.
Yeah.
It's the tariffs and a couple other things that have
you
come
got people
out.
scared.
Yeah, it just it's the rhetoric.
Yeah. And
that's whipsaw and everything about what's going on. So that's just the biggest problem. We had 2 things that were coming out today, which is the we'll do the JOLTS, your favorite job openings and labor turnover survey, if you ever wanted to know what JOLTS stood for. So
labor turnover.
Yeah. So it said it was released for January today, because I went into the actual website. Job openings remain steady at 7.7 million, though down 728,000 over the past year. That's just overall, right? Hires held at 5.4 million, while total separations were unchanged. Quits remained at 3.3 million, signaling steady confidence among workers. Layoff and discharges were unchanged at 1.6 million. But what's notably about it is real estate, rental, and leasing saw an increase in job openings of 46,000.
Wow.
Yeah. So my question is it real estate and rental and leasing, or is it just rental and leasing?
Probably just rental and leasing.
The other thing, I think so too. The NFIB Small Business Optimism Index came out today. It dropped 2.1 points to 100.7 in February, falling below expectation of 101. The decline signals caution among small business owners regarding economic conditions. Key takeaway: hiring challenges remain the top concern for small businesses. Inflation pressures are still a major issue affecting profitability. Optimism about future business conditions decline, suggesting businesses are preparing for a potential economic slowdown. So when somebody asked President Trump the other day, are we going to recession? He says, I don't know. Some Democrats were saying, well, if that was Biden, you guys would say blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, well, first of all, Biden would go,
I know more past leaders than any other person in the world.
No, he would have said, I've known more recessions than any other person in the world. And a depression.
Yeah, and I'm a little depressed. Did
Double.
someone say ice cream?
Well, if you notice it, but they actually looked at his signature on a lot of stuff, and it was
electronic, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was not his.
So who was running the country? Was
Joe
it that
Biden.
wife of his?
Yes, Miss Biden. That's why she wanted to stay.
Yeah.
She so badly wanted to say, I'm just enjoying this. I'm running a country.
I get to sign all kinds of shit.
Yeah, well, maybe she should have ran for president.
She probably could jog for president.
Yeah, so that's pretty much all I have for today. Rates, again, back to our rates comment. Rates are how you make your payments, right? What I mean by that is that's all they're associated with. Yes, they're not the lowest, but I've talked to so many people who are older than the young people today, and they're like, I can't believe these people are complaining about 6% and 7% rates. I remember, it's like I said at that conference, I was taking people from 13 and 9, and they loved me. And during the pandemic, when I was giving somebody a 2.75, they said, that's as low as you can go.
Really?
Which part?
That's as low as you can go?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, is that it? Is that all you can do?
Serious?
It's all relative. And so if you can make the payment now, do it, and then refinance later. I have somebody else doing a cash out refinance VA because they don't have to pay the funding fee. And the reason I said this is the best one. That way, if you don't have if you don't have a job, we don't care. We just move forward. We can refinance you multiple times over the next whatever and not have to worry about requalifying for the loan. That's the best thing about VA.
That's very cool.
When you do the application for a refinance, go ahead.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So EARL, that's the interest rate reduction refinance through the VA. If you're not a disabled vet, you have to pay a 0.5% funding fee. But on the application, we just put your name, social security number, and on the credit, just got to make sure that you've been on time on the mortgage for the last, on time for the last 12 months.
Yeah.
And they look at a FICO on there. So those are the only two things we don't take into account. Any of your new debt, any of that kind of stuff. We only focus on the loan because VA believes if you're lowering your payment and you're already qualified for it, why do you have to requalify for it?
You mean common sense?
Somewhat, because the rest of the stuff they're doing is not very much common sense. So.
Maybe that'll change with this administration.
Well, everybody's complaining about they're cutting costs and they're cutting the VA by so many people. But what they don't see is they're hiring 300 more people who are actually doctors, nurses, and all the important people, and getting rid of the bureaucrats and the administration.
And the BS,
that doesn't need to be there.
That's what people are figuring out on any of this stuff. They're getting rid of the wasteful spending and making sure that what they are spending is functional.
Because the VA secretary, the new guy, said, okay, we're not going to be known for how we've been known before, which that people think we're successful as a VA, which is we have the largest amount of employees and the largest budget to pay for them.
Does that measure success?
That's how it was in the past.
People still don't get seen and they just commit suicide and die
in the parking lot.
Yeah.
So, and that's why we do Operation Firewalk.
Yeah.
And everybody's giving me, Ralph was like, do we capitalize the W? And I'm like, no, but I just do. Is it one word or two words? One word for that.
I write it in one, and I capitalized the W and I capitalized the fire.
Yeah, I did it to have it stand out here online.
Right.
But go online. If you want to make it, you might want to sign up because we have limited spaces and we already have people signed up. You have to sign up ahead of time. And it's set up to where you can pay now, right now. So you go to Operation Firewalk, sign up, and then that way you secure your space. Because if you don't, I can't guarantee that you'll be a place for you.
Yeah.
And that's not personal. We get just limited by the space. First come, first served.
And it's a large space, but we fill up.
220-ish is all we can get in there.
Yeah.
And I say all because there's a huge need here. So if you know a veteran, first responder, and their families can come to this event, and all the Rotarians in our club, because we put it on. I'm just saying, that's it's important. And your family, if they're coming, they need to sign up because we need to make sure we have a seat for them.
Yep.
That's all I have for today.
That's all I have. Oh, are we going to use our same sound system we used last year?
You mean that old one?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It seemed to work fine.
It was fine.
Okay.
But we'd have to probably hopefully we have an updated projector. Did we get one ordered?
I think Ralph ordered one. That would be nice.
Either that or I'll have to buy a big TV from Costco.
There you go.
And then store it in my living room until the next year.
An 80-inch TV, 85-inch TV for $369.
No, 100.
Yeah.
100.
Wow. That
98.
won't fit in your living room.
Yeah, well, I already measured
You'd
it.
have to
My
sit
cabinet's only 120 inches
You'd
long.
have to sit outside.
No, I wouldn't. It'd be perfect. Have you ever sat? You can just go there and stand in front of it where your seat would be, and it's like, yeah, it's perfect.
Yep. I remember watching Amadeus in LA in the front row of the theater, and
That's
it
different.
was like watching tennis.
That's totally different. That's totally different.
It is.
Yeah,
I know.
TVs are different. They're high def. It's not the same. The screens are too big to be that close. I get it.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. That's all I have.
Me too. I'll have numbers tomorrow. Everybody have a wonderful Tuesday that feels like Thursday on Tuesday.
Yeah. And please follow up with your clients.
Yeah.
That's important.
Get them into escrow and tell them things are good.
Things are good.
Time to buy.
It's a perfect time to buy. There's limited people thinking that because they don't know what's going on. This whole thing we talked about, we're going to leave. I'm sorry, but you brought it up. People are so worried about, I don't know if I make a mistake. What's going to happen with the market? Is it going to go down? Is it going to be like Florida? No. Is it going to be like Texas? No. We do not have major hurricanes and that type of stuff to where we have to worry about. Yes, we have the occasional unfortunate fire because people don't know how to keep water in dams and fire hydrants working. If those two things were working, we wouldn't have had the blaze as bad as it was, even with the Santa Ana.
And we had a 4.1 magnitude tremor in LA last Sunday.
Yeah.
And then they came on the news and they said, 5, it gets kind of bad. 6 is even worse, but 4.1,
Well, with all the new not regulations, but when they had to go back in and retrofit all the buildings and homes and everything they've had to do, unless it's a freaking 8 or 10, it's not going to move much.
Yeah.
I remember when the Northridge happened and how many houses from all over got cracked and everything else and buildings. And ever since then, everything has to be different and built differently. So it kind of moves.
They put them on rollers.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, kids.
We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Talk to you later.
Thanks for being here. And
Bye.
Bye.
Look it.